Hello, Algebra Finance B students. This is a review of Unit 4, Lessons 3 and 4, and this video will be Part 1. Part 2 video um, will be attached as well. So, thanks for stopping by. Please make sure you have paper, pencil, pen, calculator, and ready to take screenshots. Most of this information will be new to you. So we are going to talk about investment basics and then stocks and bonds. So we put these two lessons together, and then at the end, we will go over briefly the portfolio for lesson 4. All right, let's go ahead and I think you can see the screen. We'll begin. So, what does it mean to invest? Well, it you are saving money with the expectation of earning a profit. So, there is a small difference between saving and investing. So, saving, we talked about savings, and we use the example of even though you're still in high school, right out of high school, as soon as you get a job, you want to start having an area in your budget for savings. And the last couple lessons we talked about, let's just try and save 5% of our paycheck. Remember, we talked about 5% for retirement and 5% for emergencies. So a total of 10%, but 5% for each. So we took that money and we put it in a savings account. Well, that's great. Okay. But there's also something that we call investing, and that is taking that money, that 5% or that 10%, and putting it in an aggressive account or putting it in stocks and bonds, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So when you're saving, you know that you're saving and you're getting interest each month, but it's very little. When you're investing, you are putting money into a more aggressive account where your goal is to earn a profit, as opposed to saving money in an account where you're just saving for the future and saving for emergency needs. Investing, we are looking to make a profit. Okay, so that's just a little explanation for you. Let's take a look at this. A great question. So, you have your job, you have your budget, you understand that out of your paycheck there are deductions. So from the amount of money that you make each paycheck, you're able to pay your bills, pay your car, pay your mortgage or your rent, pay your health insurance, your car insurance, your life insurance we just talked about. And also within that budget is hopefully enough money that you can put into savings or invest it in an account, an aggressive account. So, how much should you invest? Well, it's going to be different for everyone. Remember, we talked about that, depending on the lifestyle you live, depending on the job that you have. Are you hourly? Or are you salary? So therefore, you have a set salary means that you have a set amount that you make each year. Hourly, your hours can get cut and then your budget you have to redo your budget. So, those are some things you have to into consideration. It's different for everybody. Take into account your short-term and long-term goals. What are you investing for? Are you investing this amount of money this amount that you got for graduation? Are you taking that and investing it, or are you just going to put it in a savings account? Okay, so, what are those short-term goals and what are the long-term goals? Long-term would be more like towards retirement. Short-term goals, you're trying to uh, turn a profit, make a profit, so you can purchase this great vehicle that you've always wanted, or go on this great vacation, or pay for a wedding, or pay for college. So it's important to begin saving for your retirement early. We talked about that not too long ago. So again, the 10% rule, We used 5% in our work a couple weeks ago or a couple lessons ago. So here's an example. Sandra has decided to invest 10% of every paycheck. She currently makes $308.28 per week. How much will she invest weekly? So you want to take 10% of $308.28. Remember, of means what operation? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? Good. Multiplication. So take the amount that she gets on her paycheck times 10%. Remember, we take the percent sign off and we move that decimal 2 places to the left. So it's 0.10. Multiply this out, and this is what you see on your calculator screen. This is not correct money. Okay. We need 2 digits in the cents area. Well, here is 3. And sometimes on your screen there's only 1 digit. We'll talk about that on the next couple slides. So we have to round this so it's correct money. So this is actually, you want to round to the hundredths place. So this is actually $30.83. The 2 in the hundredths place is what we're rounding. Look next to it, and that 8 is bigger than 5, so we say we are rounding the hundredths place up. That just bumps it up 1 digit. So what is she taking out of each paycheck and investing it into a more aggressive account as opposed to a savings account? $30.83. Can she afford it? Yes. Can you afford it? Don't know. We have to figure out your budget. Okay? So, what are we going to do with that money now? Let's take a look at this. When you're investing, there is something called a present value. That's the value that your amount of money you're investing is worth right now. Okay? We're going to use Sandra as an example. The future value, that's the amount the investment will be worth in the future. Now the interest adds up. So we'll have a formula that is very familiar to you by now. Okay, we want to predict what the future value of the amount we're investing today will be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Okay, so here's Sandra. She has decided to invest 10% of every paycheck. She currently makes $308.28 per week. We determined on the last slide that she will invest $30.83, which is exactly what we came up with, weekly. What is the future value of one weekly investment if she saves it in an account earning 4.2% interest compounded monthly for 10 years? We are looking for the future value of that investment. What's the investment? The investment is $30.83. How will that investment itself grow? Okay. So how will it grow over the 10 years? Here's our formula. We've seen this, we've used it. From Sandra's situation, we have to pick out the P, the R, the N, and the T. You guys are good at this now, but let's practice. So the P, what is the P? That's the initial principal that she's investing, $30.83. What is the rate? It's the 4.2% interest. Take the percent sign off, move the decimal over 2 places to the left, 0.042. Compounded monthly. That means she's doing it once a month, okay, for 10 years. So this is calculated 10, and the number of years is 12. Oh, no, I got that backwards. 12, because there's 12 months in a year, and over the next 10 years. Okay, so we're just going to put this into our formula. Take out the P, replace it with the number. Take out the R divided by the N. Who remembers how to do that? How did I get 0.0035? Take the R, which is 0.042, divide it by 12. Okay? And on your calculator, this is what you'll get. Now, when you do this, depending on your calculator, you might not come up with the same exact answer. So when you do all this math, put this in the Desmos calculator, that initial investment of $30.83 is now going to be worth $46.86. So over 10 years, that initial amount that you are investing, that initial amount grows to 46. It increases it by about $16.03, it looks like. Okay, so this is the future value. Will it be 100% accurate in 10 years? We don't know. There's lots of variables. Okay, lots of things to consider with with the government and with the banking industry and the rates, the interest rates, and all that. Okay, so that's how you find the future. This is a quiz question, similar to a quiz question. So the 50% rule, this is something new and very neat. So you've now saved for 10 years. You took that $30.83 and you invested it. Okay. You've saved for 10 years. There's a 50% rule that allows you don't have to, it's just a recommendation. It allows you to take it out of that account. Okay, so you take out up to 50% of your savings. You could take out 10%. You could take out 49%. You could take out 50%. But the general rule is not to take out more than that. You leave the rest of the savings in the account so it can still grow. And you continue to add to the account out of your check so it grows and it builds back up. Now, why would you want to take out up to 50% of the money that you have saved? Okay, the money that's in your account. Well, maybe you need a new car. And taking that money out will pay for the car or, pay half the car or a good portion of the car. Maybe you need to fix up your house. Maybe you want to put in a swimming pool. Maybe you need a new roof. Maybe you want to go back to college or help somebody go to college. Okay, so these are ways that you can still afford, these things that you might need, or, maybe you are giving yourself a reward for something you did. But the general rule is not to take out more than 50%. If you can take out nothing, that's great also, because that just means your money is growing even more and more. But it's there, it's yours, and it's just a rule, just something to follow. The stock market. Okay, this is lesson 4. What is the stock market? It's a collection of people and companies where shares of stock in various companies are bought, sold, and traded. Okay, so this is a little formula right here. The price of a share, okay, they determine it by the value of the stock in dollars, what's the company worth, divided by the number of shares of stock they have available. Okay, that is that makes you become part owner. So when you buy stock, you become part owner of the business. It allows you to make some earnings when the company is successful and the value of the stock goes up. It also, however, if the company goes under, you lose your money. So the stock market is very risky, and we'll talk about more about the stock market in part 2. But here's just a little example. So say this company is worth $100 million and they have 100,000 shares of stock to sell. They typically sell to their employees first, and then whatever's left is available for the outside people to purchase. Okay, so how do they determine what to sell the stock for? They take the worth of the company divided by the number of stocks. And in this case, it would be $100 per